All right, welcome everybody. Building a Kartra affiliate army. We're going to continue the conversation. I'm going to jump right in. I've got Rob and Lynn here with me as well as my co-pilot.
Hey.
All right. So for those that I'm assuming everyone here has been following, the story from many months ago when we shifted out of using ClickFunnels and our own systems into using Kartra. We kind of announced, because this is my background, affiliate marketing, and really saw Kartra as this phenomenal online platform that we wouldn't just use ourselves, but that we could generate a lot of commissions with. And it's a twofold affiliate program. On the one side, if you're able to attract people who want to use the Kartra platform, you're positioning yourself for really significant long-term affiliate commissions because it's such an amazing platform. And so the chance of them being here using that platform for years is very high. So you're developing a significant residual income. 40% commission is really, really high for something that's going to pay you monthly for those that are on the monthly plan, which is most people, and that's going to be here for years. It's like incredible. So what I'm going to be then the second prong to this is the JV partnership. People who register with you as a JV partner, JV broker, who become affiliates themselves, when they're out there making sales in Kartra, then you're obviously getting commissions there too because they have that second tier program. We wanted to go through, now that we've launched our system that was designed, as all of the systems I ever build are designed to do lots of different things, but one of them being to attract affiliate partners and to attract affiliate or people who want to purchase Kartra's system and use it. It does a lot more than that, though, and that's really the point of today. That's what I'm going to be going over. First, I'm going to go over just the basics of a funnel and key things to think about, and a lot of this is review for some of you, but maybe the way that I share certain things will kind of put a new perspective on it that could be very valuable to you, even though some of it is elementary. Others of you really need even the elementary review of what a marketing funnel needs to be. And then we're going to go into reviewing how we've applied this using Kartra to not just generate a lot of affiliate commissions by introducing people to Kartra, but also how to attract, it also attracts JV partners who we then empower to make sales, selling Kartra, which is second tier commissions. I will mention, even though we're not here to sell you anything, but it would be silly for me not to mention that the system that we've created and that we're using, others can use as well. And if you're interested in that, you can hunt us down. You can search for Profit Platform. That's one way in. For those that want to work more closely with us, you can get access to the platform. And in that case, it would be Ambassador Program. But just to let you know, anyone can use our system to accomplish the same things. Now, let me now go over the elementary system of our funnel. Well, in every funnel, what every funnel really needs to have in place to be successful. And I'm going to run through this pretty quick, assuming that most of you have this introduction, that you know what a funnel is. Maybe you got education over at ClickFunnels and Russell or who knows where, and you kind of know this stuff. But again, me running through it may put a new perspective on it that could be highly beneficial to you. And for those of you who don't know this is going to be really, really important. But I will go pretty quick so we can move into the main focus of today, which is showing you how Robin and I apply all of this specifically using Kartra, like how we built our funnel and what's coming next. And you can kind of follow the story along and model what we're doing to generate massive affiliate commissions with Kartra. Okay, so I'm going to run through this. It's going to look like this when I'm done. We'll start here. Free marketing. It all starts with marketing, right? You got free marketing and you've got advertising. If you're doing free marketing, what's most important is that you're tracking lead location. In other words, if you're doing social media, like whether that be on your blog, we put that under social media, even though it's a little bit different. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, this is social media, free marketing. What's most important is you're tracking where your leads are coming from. So you know where, for whatever reason, you're getting your best results. It's just important to know that. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting time when you're doing free marketing. If you're doing advertising, then what's really, really important, it's important for free marketing too, long term, but short term with advertising, your whole focus is on tracking your lead value. Like you need to know, and you've got to set things up this way, guys. Like if you're going to make serious money selling whatever it is you're selling, you've got to track, you got to pay attention to what you're spending on your leads, and you've got to set things up so that you know how to incrementally increase what you earn per lead. If you're not doing that, like it's silly. Like you're just wasting time and money. It's a crapshoot. It's a gamble. There's no reason for it to be. When you track lead value and you employ what we call cash flow optimization, which are things like split testing, and we'll talk a little bit about that today, but then you can take control over what you earn. You literally can know exactly what you need to do to increase what you earn per lead. If you're not setting it up this way, you're approaching it wrong. Advertising is where you want to put your focus if you want to scale. That's all the people that grew big, including those people you see getting a lot of traction on social media. It means they got their ads running. There was a time where when I had my ads ramped up, I grew my Facebook fan page to like 116,000 people, like almost overnight. And when I did posts and stuff during that time, and for quite a long time afterwards, even after I scaled it down, I was still getting massive like exposure. Since I've been building this funnel for like, a year, and really doing other projects and stuff before that for a couple of years, now when I post on social media, I get almost no traction. A lot of you don't realize when you see people getting a lot of traction, it's because they had advertising in place either now or before. And so Facebook or wherever it is gives you a lot of extra love. But advertising is where you focus if you want control over your growth, if you want control over your scale, your ability to expand, not the free marketing. So continuing on with the elementary review of the funnel before we show you ours and how we're using Kartra to build affiliate commissions. You've got your lead capture page. That's where someone enters their lead in exchange for something. A lot of you know that. Then they land on what we call a landing page. There's different terms for this, but this is what I refer to it as. Your landing page, I like to call it that because that's where they land. And that's just saying, thanks, but there's more to it. So after the landing page, if you're doing an advertising funnel, you've got to make money back right away. And I know there's a lot of people talking out there about how like it's all about delay, nowadays, like you don't want to go for the sale right away. And it's like, well, if you're smart, you're going to set it up where you can get some sales right away, but without being annoying. And that, so that you can still get the sales on the, after 30 days, 60 days, 90 days too. Like you should be able to do both. And if you're doing advertising and you're not Frank Kern, who's, pushing that message a lot that, oh, you don't want to go for the sell right away anymore, even though that was Frank Kern for like 30 years, even before the internet. It's Frank Kern's personality, like everything's, right away now. It's funny, he's now out there saying, I love Frank, by the way, but it's funny he's out there saying a lot now, you don't want to go for the sale right away because that's his new model. At least one of the products he's selling. When that works, if you got a huge influence and like you've got this huge email list already, you got so much already in play. But if you're just starting out, particularly building your list for the first time, or you're not making significant income already, you don't have a strong presence, you better have something in place that brings in revenue immediately, unless you've got a big cushion or some kind of unique business infrastructure in place where like you don't need now money. But most people, if they spend $1,000 on ads or $100 on ads, they need to make some money back, like right away. And so if you set it up right, you should be able to make a sale right away when someone enters their email, like within a few days, and make sales like Frank's talking about lately at 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You better design it. We'll show you how we do this in a minute. You better design it so that as soon as someone enters their email, you grab and focus their attention right now, right here. We'll show you how we did that with the countdown clock. Your business model might be very, very different, but some way, somehow, you better get people to pay attention. If you don't, they're just going to disappear into the ether, And I know a lot of you think, well, if your value is high enough, if the value proposition's there, then you don't need to try to do anything in addition to that. And that's kind of Frank's new message. Again, a real good message. It really works really well if you're already established. But if you're just starting out, you kind of got to squeeze everything you can out of your funnel. And even though, I've been doing this for years and have, had lots of 7-figure and some 8-figure years, by most people's standards, I've done phenomenally well for a long time. I still do that. I still want to squeeze everything I can out of the funnel. If I'm going to spend money on advertising in particular, I want to be able to grab people's attention and direct it and focus it, because I know how many distractions there are. And I'm going to want, as I say, to generate sales right away to offset the cost of the ads immediately. Doesn't mean that I'm sacrificing sales later at the 30-day, 60-day, or 90-day mark. Not at all. In fact, the way we set it up, which we'll show you in a bit, the fact that we're grabbing their attention right away and giving them an offer immediately to generate sales immediately for us actually increases the number of sales we'll get at the 30, 60, and 90-day mark, as we got their attention. And even the people who didn't purchase immediately will remember us, and we're taking them that much closer to purchasing at the 30, 60, or 90-day mark. Then you want upsells and downsells. This increases lead value. Everything's about increasing lead value. In other words, you spend $100 on leads and you're only getting $90 back, you're going to go out of business fast. And so you want to get it to getting at least your money back right away. So you're doing things to increase lead value. I talked about cash flow optimization earlier, and I'm not going to go into a complete training here today. You can hunt us down and find our other trainings out there that go deeper into this stuff. Just wanted to do a quick review before we showed you our funnel in case this is new to you, or some of it will just kind of help you look at things that you already knew in a different light that could serve you tremendously. So upsells and downsells, of course, are after someone buys, you say, hey, if you're interested in that, you might also be interested in this. A lot of people think it's a slimy tactic. Well, it is if you do it foolishly and it's all about you making more money only. Obviously, when I'm talking to marketers, which are you guys, or people who want to make affiliate commissions, I'm going to frame it from your perspective and what my perspective is in business. Of course, I want to set this up to increase lead value, to increase what I earn per lead. But when you're doing it in the funnel, when you're actually presenting the offer to them, it's all about helping them. And if you do it, if you're not egocentric and you're audience centric, you're focused on what their needs are, then when you put an upsell or downsell offer, an upsell is like an offer in front of them that is a little bit more expensive or even a lot more expensive than the one they just purchased, again, before they check out and get their receipt. A downsell is when it's priced less. And we actually have several offers we put in front of people. It's only slimy and annoying and dumb to do that if you're thinking of yourself only when you do it. You have to, when you put it together, you have to put the focus on them and providing value. And if you do that, it actually adds value to their life. In fact, the way we recommend people set an upsell or downsell up is so that even if they don't purchase, they gained value. They learned something. They benefited in some way just through the presenting of it. And then, of course, when someone opted into your lead capture page, they enter into an email sequence. And this is really where Kartra shines. You provide more value through those follow-up emails. That's information and content that would help them in some way, which gives you permission, basically, to be able to put more offers in front of them, to be able to sell more things. And again, that's another way of increasing lead value. That's another one of the cash flow optimization steps. And there's a lot more. And again, I'm not going to give a complete training here on this. This is just a review before we go through our funnel and how we're using Kartra to do these things, particularly how we're using it to build a Kartra affiliate army of our own and to empower people to make a lot of affiliate commissions using the same system. We'll show you that funnel in a minute, but again, I just want to review this real quick. You put more offers in front of them through automation, through follow-up emails to increase what you earn per lead automatically. And then, of course, you've got BAM going on. So while you're providing more value in the follow-up email sequence and providing more offers in the follow-up sequence, you've got BAM, which stands for Behavioral Adaptive Marketing, which is what Kartra has built into it that usually requires a lot of like banging your head against the wall to do if you're using Confusionsoft or trying to integrate other plugins and tools into like WordPress for BAM. It's all built into Kartra. Behavioral adaptive marketing is just a fancy way. I think Andy Jenkins coined it. I don't know, maybe he didn't, but he was a genius with this stuff, and he integrated a lot of this into Kartra. All it basically means is you're able to customize the experience of your leads when they're going through your funnel. So they might click on a particular link in your email, or they might watch a certain length of your video on a landing page, and the system's able to know that and track that and put them into a different email sequence, perhaps, because now you know they're more interested in that particular type of content and topic, and therefore might be interested in other types of offers. So you can customize the content they see, the email sequences they end up falling into, all automatically personalizing the experience of your leads and therefore massively increasing lead value as well. And it's all about increasing lead value, because the more that you can earn per lead, the more you can advertise. And the more you can advertise, the more you can scale and grow. So it's all about increasing lead value. In fact, before we show you our funnel, I would go as far as to say that if you are not constantly, when you think about your business and your marketing and your funnel and your pages, your sales pages, constructing all of this, your ad campaigns, your social media, anything and everything that you do day in and day out at all for your business and to generate income and leads and everything you do, if increasing lead value isn't at the highest priority of your aim, when it comes to your business goals, again, we juxtapose that with giving a lot of value needs to be really high priority too, right? In terms of your audience's experience. That's a given. Again, I'll say that one more time just so it's really clear. Giving a lot of value to your audience obviously has to be a high priority, a top priority from the experience and perspective of your audience. But when it comes to how you're relating to what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing, it's all about increasing lead value. And if that's not the case, I go as far as to say you're either struggling or if you're doing well, you're incredibly skilled in certain areas, but you're nowhere near like where you could be financially and in terms of freedom. Your whole relationship when it comes to your perspective and goals and objective, your whole relationship with building your funnel, building your lead capture pages or landing pages, your content, your social media branding, your email sequencing, the way you write those emails, the way you relate to all of it should all be based around the highest priority being increasing lead value. If it's not, you're either not making it or you're not making a fraction of what you could be with the skills that you have elsewhere. And it's about a perspective shift. Okay, so I'm now going to pass this over to Robin and actually move into, I'll come back to this screen in a minute as we close out, but first we're going to show you our funnel. How are we using Kartra to, accomplish what I just showed you? Like, if I can get back to it, to accomplish, this rudimentary like representation of an effective funnel. How did we use Kartra to put this in place? We maxed out BAM. And you're going to see things like a countdown clock and stuff that might seem annoying to you. Like, again, that's an egocentric way of relating to things like this. Like, you need to like look at it from the perspective of, okay, who's our audience and what are we aiming to do with our funnel? And once you understand that, you realize it's a highly effective funnel. In fact, we tested it. It's extraordinarily effective. Last time we tracked the lead value from just sending like 3 emails out to our list, we were like a $71 lead value. So in other words, for every lead we generated, we got $71 back. And we hardly promoted it to our list. Now, it was built for advertising. So we haven't, we're moving to advertising next. We will keep, again, I've done this for years with lots of different funnels, so we kind of know how it always plays out. but I'll keep you guys informed. And this is just a check-in with you guys to show you where we're at. We built the funnel, we tested it, it did phenomenally well. And now we're going to move into advertising. We'll keep checking in and we'll keep sharing this with you so you can kind of model what we're doing, and we'll give you ideas and tips along the way. Today, we just wanted to show you the funnel. How did we use Kartra to put all this in place? How are we using BAM, Behavioral Adaptive Marketing? We won't have time to show you everything, but we'll show you a lot of it. And we're just wanting to give this to you in the spirit of like, ultimately somehow, maybe some way leading up to ultimately some kind of collaboration with some of you that would be, beneficial to everybody involved. But that takes time organizing. So right now we're just sharing. We're just sharing what we're doing. And as it gets better and better and juicier, we'll keep sharing, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you along the way. So here's an example of one of our lead capture pages. I'll let Robin kind of take it from here for a little bit, and I'll come in and kind of interject along the way. And then in the end, try to button this up with helping you guys know how can you take the information we shared with you and apply it to what you're doing to not just increase the number of Kartra affiliate commissions you generate, but also to be able to attract others into your JV partner network and be able to generate commissions through that second tier affiliate part of the program as well. But let's go ahead and show you how we're using Kartra to apply BAM and the marketing funnel and what we're getting ready to gear up to do with the advertising. Go ahead, Robin.
Awesome. So there's probably, I started off with 50 Kartra pages that I created, and it's over 120 pages right now. And the reason there's so many pages that were created was because of the unique features that BAM allows. And BAM allows for different features. So basically, if somebody enters their email here, and I'll enter my email here just to give you guys the.
Wait, Robin, before you do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually a lead capture, so you guys get a little bit more context. I know some of you guys are at different levels, so some things will go over your head, and that's okay, because we got to talk kind of to the middle, because some of you are further along, some of you are just getting started. But I promise, whether you're advanced or you're a brand new beginner, you will gain a lot of value if you follow all of this. So what Robin's showing you right now is an affiliate page. So our affiliates can promote this page. If you were generating leads, you would want to generate your own lead first with a lead capture page before you ever send them into an affiliate page. So just keep in mind, that's how our system is built. You may not build yours that way, but that's how this is built. So showing you the affiliate page, people enter their email. This is only one of the affiliate pages. So there's another lead capture page for social media. So if someone's promoting on social media, they would see a different page and a different funnel entirely. And maybe, Robin, you probably plan to go through that later. So the one she's showing you now.
Here it is.
Yeah, the one and don't get too caught up on how these are designed, because that's completely irrelevant when you're focused on lead value. When you're focused on lead value, you don't ask yourself, is this lead capture page okay? Is this going to work? Like, why is it not working? Like, I'll come back around to that. Like, it doesn't matter how you can start with some of the basic knowledge of a lead capture page that you can get out there anywhere, but it's about the process of improving it over time. Robin, go ahead and go back to the lead capture page though, because what you're showing.
Sure. Yeah. Lots of cool pages, and all of these, in Kartra for those of you who do know.
The reason why I said all of that was so I could button it up with, this is the ad funnel. This is what would be advertised, which we're getting ready to do next. And we'll keep on those results as we do. But this is the advertising funnel. And this page could adapt and change, and will adapt and change over time as we do cash flow optimization. Okay.
I just want to say one of the most powerful aspects of Kartra, unlike some of the other lead generation tools and funnel systems out there that I've tried and realized that Kartra allows for the best of both worlds, meaning customization, so that you can start off with a blank canvas and build the page as you like, whether that's for specifically for mobile view, and Kartra allows you to do the same URL and have a unique page that looks completely different for mobile view based on how the eye views the page, which is amazing. And it's done very simply, very sophisticatedly, and in really nice sections where you can, really give yourself just a clean building block. And so I really loved that for me about Kartra, building customization. But Kartra also has a really cool pre-built templates and pre-built pages and pre-built sections and pre-built components. So you could actually just drag and drop sections. You could drag and drop page parts and components. So it's the best of both worlds. And so sometimes I can take from Kartra and take a chunk if I like, or I can literally, like this page, I can just rebuild it as I desired, the way that Mike and I wanted it to be specific to our needs, and then to size it accordingly, and then also to make it unique for mobile view. So I really appreciated that, especially when you're doing advertising. Most people that we have tested, 86% are on a mobile device. And it's important. It's important to know what your pages look like, not just on a web platform, like a computer, desktop, laptop, but it's really important to be able to edit pages for mobile view for responsiveness. So let me just enter my email here, and I'm going to do my email here, just you guys don't need to see my email address.
And by the way, just to speak to those of you who might be wondering about audience, this headline says, if you've tried creating reliable, life-changing income with various opportunities and programs over the years, but nothing's really paid off, get the strategy that produces consistent, predictable results. So, and then exclusive behind the scenes tell-all training, build a list, grow your network, learn to market anything. Okay, so obviously this audience could be potentially interested in Kartra. That's a given, right? Now, you guys might be doing something completely different, and you can, and I'll talk at the end of this about other audiences or niche audiences you could go after to kind of model what we're doing. But obviously, this would speak to a group of people that are interested in learning marketing and who have some experience with it. So it's not like their first rodeo, like you might see like John Crestani or one of these affiliate marketers saying to people hey, would you like to make a bunch of money and live in a mansion like me, or whatever it might be. It's not that low of a starting point. We're talking to people who've been around the block a few times and they just haven't quite gotten it figured out. Obviously a tool like Kartra could be very beneficial to them, but there's lots of audiences and niches you could go after. It's just, if you just understand, if you're marketing like yoga classes and you're teaching people yoga or whatever it is, obviously that audience isn't going to have a high likelihood of purchasing Kartra. So that's something to think about. If you have a business that's very separate from people who are entrepreneurially minded or not thinking about learning marketing, then you'd have to, if you want to generate a lot of affiliate commissions with Kartra, you're going to have to start a second lead capture page funnel that provides value to people who would be interested in using a tool like Kartra. Or you'd want to find a system like ours, and ours isn't the only one that will allow you just to plug into and make that easier to do. So Robin just entered her email. She lands on this page I mentioned earlier. Some of you might go, oh, a countdown clock. I hate those. Again, that's an egocentric way of relating to a process. This is designed for a particular audience, for a particular purpose. And what we want to do is just make sure you understand how we're using Kartra to accomplish very specific goals. How you decide to use Kartra to accomplish those same goals might be different depending on you and depending on who your audience is and what your goals are. So the goal here is, by having a countdown clock, is simply to get their attention. You might remember I showed that slide earlier that pointed at the landing page saying you need to grab people's attention here right away. Mm-hmm. You can do that in a number of different ways. It doesn't have to be a countdown clock. But for us, that's what we chose, and it's proven to be very effective. It just kind of makes people wonder what's going on. Now, in our case, we want to weed people out who are annoyed by this. That's literally our goal. If that turns them off to the point that they're not interested in the content we're delivering, then we know that that's that's not the right market for what this funnel is aiming to do. And that's completely okay. We'll get them later. They're already in the email list. So
Yeah.
the 30, 60, or 90-day mark. Here we're speaking to those that have a sense of urgency in their life, a sense of urgency for wanting to learn marketing, a sense of urgency for accomplishing their goals, and a countdown clock speaks directly to their gut. Go ahead, Robin.
A lot of people, they don't focus on the I. They don't focus, there's a nice pop-up, exit pop-up, which I love with Kartra. So a lot of people, they don't focus on what it is, as Mike said, based on who you're reaching. And it's really important with simple headlines to be able to speak directly with who you're calling out to, and exactly with what it is that they want, that you're providing as value, and also the call to action. What do you want them to do? And what is it that they're going to be doing on this page? So in a very quick snapshot of the headline here at the top of the page, just in a bird's eye glance, a really quick view, we're accomplishing a lot of different things at once. And then, as Mike mentioned, having the countdown clock on top of being specific enough to who we're addressing, how we're going to help them, what the framing is, so 4 days to access free, and then also what it is that we're asking people to do, and then what we're leading them into doing. It's extremely effective. And so when you see headlines being utilized like this, and you see, this is what allows Mike and I and people who use this type of strategy to get these kinds of results, because we're direct, and we're specific, and we're succinct, and we're also providing a time frame for people to access the content, versus if someone went here and we're saying access free and we're telling them what to do. A lot of people will just say, oh, I'll come back to it, I don't have time now. But there's a sense of pressure to access it if this is what they want and this is who they are. And so, as Mike said, you're weeding people out very quickly, people who want what it is that you're saying that you're going to be providing as value. And obviously, if you're in this kind of business, then you're providing value, or you're leading people as an affiliate into other people's products that provide value. So that's the goal. Obviously, we're using video here, we're using imagery, and we're using marketing copy very succinctly, very much to impact the audience to take the next step. And obviously when they do, we're also, again, weeding people out. Wait, did you watch the video trailer? Because we give specific important information in there. And there's a lot of, as you guys may have heard, calls to action, right? It's very important to lead people effectively on the page. And Kartra allows us to do that. Kartra allows us to speak directly to the audience like that.
Let me show another aspect of BAM here before you move on. We're having them, after they opt in, they're landing on this landing page. It grabs the audience we want to get the attention for with this funnel. It grabs their attention, speaks directly to their needs and what they want. But it also has a lot of text for those that are more analytical and that need to read before they move further and take it in slowly. It's there for them. What a lot of people will do is they'll just peruse this, feel comforted that it's there, and then, they might read full stop, and then they'll go in. But what I want to point out with the BAM, the Behavioral Adaptive Marketing, when they click yes, teleport me to class, and go ahead and click on that, and it goes to the actual class. So I wanted to talk for a minute about why we didn't just send them directly here. Why did we send them to like a landing page before we actually sent them to this page, which has got the class on it? Couple of reasons. One, Robin mentioned that there were some things we wanted them to know before they got here. That was in that other video. One of the things that we wanted them to know, well, first of all, we wanted to build up the value and the importance and what they would be learning in this class, because this is a 2-hour class teaching about, how you do real marketing, how everyone who's successful is doing it, that a lot of people just don't realize. How to track, the point of tracking lead value and increasing lead value, cash flow optimization. But it's like a 2-hour class. So we know most people might not be ready. They might be on their iPhones. So the other page is like just to kind of prepare them, to help them understand how important it is, and to tell them if they have their browser settings at too high of a security, they will not be able to get access to the free class. And so if they want the free pass, they're gonna have to change their browser settings. And this is just a calculated like decision that we made that it's something that we can test long term, but we've already tested this funnel and know that it works. There'll be a percentage of people that can't get access to the free class because they got the browser settings on too high a security. And when that happens, the system can't communicate with their system. And so we can't know if they already accessed the free class because we only give it for free for 4 days because it's something we typically sell. And so we tell them in that first video, we get to explain those things. And if they don't have time right now, it's okay. Like we know a large percentage of people are not going to be in the right space, the right state of mind, or in a situation that would be on their iPhone at lunch hour. And we know that most people are not going to buy right now. But when you do these things and you set things up this way, you're guiding them step by step, and they're going to remember you. So you've increased the chances of you making sales at the 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day mark. And there'll still be a percentage that do have their security settings right and are in a place right now where they can watch a 2-hour class and who purchase. And again, we tested this to our own list and we know that to be a fact. We'll keep you posted when we start advertising. So the other reason though, to have it a 2-step process and have them click that red button and come on in is we can set Kartra up to know who landed on this page and left versus who continued, take me to class, who clicked the red button and went to the next page. And those who click that red button and go to the next page, we can automatically enter them into a different email sequence because we know that they've now been exposed to this page. We can speak to them a little bit differently. And so that's another second reason why we wanted to split those 2 pages up. There's a lot of strategy behind marketing. If I could button all that up and put it in simple terms, you want to like stair step people up to where you're taking them. You want to grab their attention immediately. You want to be able to kind of track the process that they're moving through so you can customize the email sequence and know where they're at, so you know what follow-up emails to send based on where they're at in the funnel. So those are some things to keep in mind no matter who you're marketing to and what you're trying to do. So now they're on the success strategy class, the free class. They have 4 days to review it and then they'll lose access to it. Robin, what did you just click on to pull that page, to pull that up? Robin?
I'm here.
What did you click on to pull that up? It seemed like it jumped down.
Oh, I'm just scrolling down.
You're just scrolling down, I see. So now we're moving into, you remember the slide I showed you, we're now presenting an offer. Because if you're going to succeed at advertising, then you need, I love Frank, but again, he's already established. So are we, quite frankly. So, honestly, and I see him still doing it, even though he talks about like most sales you now want to try to make in the 30, 60, 90-day mark, not like immediately. The reality is he still has some funnels up that sell immediately. So you have to like think about these things. Like if you're going to spend money on ads, which is the only place you can scale, the only place you can grow fast and have control over it, complete control, unless you're going to do SEO, which takes years. Then you need to make money back right away. So this is like telling them, hey, after they get through the class, we're saying, hey, you can purchase access to the system. This is to help us offset ad costs and provide a lot of value to people who are ready at the same time, because we offer like a major discount. So whoever your market is or whatever you're doing, the message here is there's lots of ways to go about it. You don't have to use a countdown clock if that's not appropriate for your particular audience. But what you do have to do, I really stress this, you need to put an offer in front of them right away so that you can offset your ad costs. Even if your main goal is to sell at the 30-day mark, 60-day mark, et cetera, later on by providing more value and building a deeper relationship, if you're providing tremendous value during your sales process, like we are, this 2-hour class is like life-changing for a lot of people. If you're providing a lot of value in the sales process, then you're not burning any bridges by putting an offer in front of them immediately. Not at all. In fact, if you're providing a lot of value in this sales process, in other words, they watch that 2-hour class, they're getting massive value, whether they buy anything from us or not. If that's a fact, then you're actually increasing the number of people, even if they're not ready to buy right now, or they don't understand, or they're not in a place right now, or they're on their iPhone and it's just not the right time. You've gotten their attention more so, and they will remember your follow-up emails more so. And you've increased the number of people who will purchase when they're ready. You've increased the number of people who become ready to purchase from you at the 30, 60, or 90 mark. And of course, you also will make sales right away with those who are ready. And that offsets the cost of your ads. Because if you spend, let's say, $100 on ads and you get $100 back within the first week, it's basically free advertising. And now you're building your list for free, and now you have more offers. I mean, most of you know that. You need to have an opportunity for them to buy something in order for that to happen. So that's why right away, it should immediately move to a high value sales process. High value meaning, even if they don't buy, they're getting a lot of value from you and they're saying thank you and they're benefiting, even if they don't buy from you. But that leads to that opportunity for them to purchase. So you're offsetting your ad costs while providing a lot of value at the same time. Is there anything else you want to say about this page? And is there any other BAM? Well, there's lots of BAM elements coming up, right?
Well, there's different tags that are applied. There's different automations applied based on how much of the video they watch. There's different features that are applied when they click the yes, give me the details, going to the sales page. There's additional automation sequences that apply. And also
let me pause you right there. Let me pause you right there. What she's saying is, when, like I was saying earlier, when they click on a button, it can move them into a different email sequence. And we know automatically, the system knows like where they're at in the process. That's vital to any funnel. Go ahead.
And also what happens when someone clicks on different types of buttons like this one, it actually, what I built, which most people may not do this because it takes, let's say, like an extra week to build it out if you do it properly. I have 3 different email sequences attached to the opt-in. So when I entered my email on the first lead capture page, and it took me to the prep page, then it took me to this page, then it's going to take me to the sales page. I actually have 3 different email sequences in place based on their behaviors and based on what they do. And so that's what Kartra allows us to do. It allows us to automate the process based on people's behaviors. So that means we get to personalize the experience for the user. That means that you get to communicate. So this is through automation, obviously. Kartra is an automated system. But you get to, once it's set up, obviously, for me, it took me a handful of months to build the entire Epic proportion of the system with over 120 pages and I think 7 different email sequences, working our way up to 10. So, based on how much you want to incorporate, meaning based on how much you want to personalize the user experience for each individual person who enters their email on your lead capture page. You get to decide how much you put in, you get to decide how much you personalize it. My interest in the system was, obviously, if we're going to do it, may as well make it so that it's at the highest level of personalization, so that every individual coming in has a unique experience based on what they want more of and what they have seen, what they haven't seen. And so they're given an experience, as Mike said, having access to something like this allows you to, in a faster way, increase your lead value, to increase the amount of money you're generating per person who enters your funnel, because they're having a phenomenal experience based on what they want more of.
Yeah, they don't think of it that way. Like them coming to this is a phenomenal experience. But that's what's happening. Really, another way of putting it is, your lead value goes up because you're able to customize the message they're receiving. And if they've clicked more buttons and gone deeper in the funnel, and you know that, and you've entered them into an email sequence specific to where they're at, that obviously gets to move them forward, and the emails aren't like off message. So, okay, so some of you might be wondering, okay, this is a webinar showing us how to increase our affiliate commissions in Kartra and build an affiliate army in Kartra of JV partners. How does this funnel doing that? You might be wondering, because right now it's like selling something called the ambassador program. This is what's so important to understand. Like, there's so much strategy behind successful marketing, and it's not that complicated per se. You just have to understand it, see it, and you can create it. And again, we have people that use you can use our system to do it if you don't want to create one. But if that's out of your price range, or you want to do your own thing, like, you can just model what we're doing. So the ambassador program, can you show that where you were a second ago, just to make sure this is really clear? So this is selling something called the ambassador program, but understand that the ambassador program has Kartra wrapped up in it. Like, in order to use our product, you would need Kartra. And so what we're basically doing here is we're teaching people and showing people, letting them use the same system we are, to do with Kartra what we are. And so it makes perfect sense. Like, just show them what we know and what we do. But for that, they need Kartra. Therefore, they need to purchase Kartra. Therefore, it generates affiliate commissions for us and those that use the system, duplicating the same thing. And then as people come to the funnel, they're on the email list. So even if they don't purchase ambassador program, because of each of these steps that we're showing you, like, we got their attention on the landing page. We gave them tons of value in the sales process. We created a bit of sense of urgency there with the countdown clock. Regardless of what you think about it, for our audience, very effective. You may not use it, but we're doing these things so that even if they don't purchase the ambassador program, even if they're out and about and on their iPhone and don't have time to get through this, even if they had their security setting browsers high and they couldn't get access to the free class and it forwarded them to purchase the class, and they're like, what in the world's going on? And they start getting follow-up emails, they will remember us. And that's like the priority number 2 of a funnel. If they don't purchase from you, make sure they remember you and remember a lot of value and a lot of intrigue. And so now you've increased the chances of them opening up these other emails. And in some of those emails, it's going to talk about Kartra. So even if they don't purchase ambassador from us, we're going to be getting affiliate commissions there. And then in addition to all of that, those who do join ambassador program, we're showing them how to become JV partners of Kartra. And so obviously it's leading us to building our affiliate army. And we have like 100 people, or close to 100 people now who are JV partners. And we haven't even turned on the ads for this yet. But in addition, the follow-up emails are going out. And some of them are referring people into another funnel that teaches them about becoming a JV partner with Kartra. So even if they don't purchase from us, they may become a JV partner with us, end up getting commission, sending people into Kartra themselves, which also increases our lead value and our cash flow. So, again, how does this relate to you? I'll button that up at the end of all of this. We wanted to focus on showing you how we're using Kartra to do this first. But, quick answer to that is, however you're approaching this, and I'll talk about different audiences and niches that you could apply this in, however you're approaching this, like, you want to create offer. If you want to sell a lot of people on Kartra, then create a lot of free offers and create even some products that make you money that go along with Kartra. Like, it's not rocket science, and it applies to every niche. Like, even if you're in yoga or you're in nutrition, like, it's the same concept. You would whatever affiliate products you want to sell that increase your lead value and pay you commissions, the products and offers that you're creating it can be like peanut butter and jelly. It goes together. Like, make sure things go together. Like, our ambassador program goes together with Kartra. So that's how we're increasing, whether they buy or not. Our free content goes together with Kartra as well. So we're increasing our affiliate commissions with Kartra by simply driving people into this lead capture page and letting the system do the rest.
And we get to build in upsells, downsells. We get to create different automation sequences based on what they purchase, what they don't purchase, based on things they see versus things they don't see. We get to automate along the way, and we get to expand it as we grow and as we see, which program is getting the most traction, which program is likely for them to upgrade into that is maybe a supplement, maybe in addition to, which affiliate offers are the most powerful ones that allow us to provide additional value to our growing audience base. So there's a lot that we get to work in along the way, and that's where scale comes in. A lot of people try to scale a business before it's even sustainable, which is kind of silly. So what we focus on is the sustadeability of it.
Let me highlight what Robin just said. When you need to build a system, you need to think about what you're doing as a system. Once you have that system in place, you can't fail, because like she's saying, we can add more offers to increase what we earn per lead. We can test 2 different types of pages, like this exact same funnel, we can duplicate it. And in the other funnel, instead of having them land on that landing page, just have them directly go to the free class and see, do we make more money with the same everything except for that one difference? We get to duplicate the lead capture page and just change the video out. Like, you're just incrementally increasing what you earn once you have a system. But if you don't get your core system in place, where you just get direct people to a lead capture page and it starts to do the work for you, presenting value, having an offer right away, follow-up emails. If you don't have a system in place, then I just don't see how you can make it. You can't compete with anybody out there. You can't afford advertising because we can outspend you. Like, everybody can outspend you that has a system in place. So you have to be strategic. You have to build a base system that you're going to continually expand upon and improve upon, and apply cash flow optimization, which is what we won't get into that today, but just these different steps that you take to incrementally increase what you earn per lead. You have to approach it this way, or it's just going to continue to be really, really hard. But you apply this and it gets easier and easier and easier because your system gets better and better and better, and you're making more and more and more money. Like, we haven't turned our ads on yet, and we're at about $1,000 a month in Kartra commissions. I mean, and that's not even like our serious income, because we're selling Ambassador, we're selling Profit Platform, and all the systems selling so many different things, but we're just advertising to one place. Like, you have to think of whatever your business is, by the way, you have to think of it that way. You have to approach it that way, or you're just going to constantly be working your tail off.
Especially if you're a coach or consultant or an author or speaker or someone who is a service provider or contractor, or you have a job or a career and you're looking to replace income, and maybe you're not successful in network marketing or affiliate marketing quite yet, or it's not sustainable for you. It's extremely important to understand that you need to develop some levels, some avenues of generating recurring commissions where you don't always have to be like a one-on-one service provider with clients or customers. And so the problem that I was facing years ago, and if you watch the strategy class, you would hear our story, how Mike made more than $1 million in a day in his first launch without ads, and how I generated over 2.9 million with advertising with one video. And I was able to take a year off and then another year and a half off later because we had recurring commissions coming in where we didn't have to deliver value one-on-one for many, many years. And that's what a system like this allows you to do. A lot of you may like to offer, like I do, a lot of intimate value with certain types of people who pay you a lot of money at a high level, which I have an offer like that. But I don't do that a lot. I don't do it with everybody, and it's not my main thing. My main thing is having the system and the recurring commissions going on, because the value that's being provided is done through automation, it's personalized, it's sustainable, and it allows me to build commission streams, multiple income streams in and out of it so that there's sustainability. And once you put that in place, and month after month, you start to see that sustainable income coming in, then you can say, ooh, now I want retreats. Ooh, now I want to write a book. Ooh, now I want to create that course that does make me work more personally with people because it's a passion of mine. But But until you've got that sustainability, as Mike mentioned, you're not going to be able to reach that many people, especially if you're someone who's been relying on word of mouth or traditional network marketing, kind of old school style, which a lot of people most of the people who I meet are in that bracket. And they look at what Mike and I have created, and first of all, their eyes open wide, their mouth drops, they start to drool literally, and they say, how do I do that for what I'm doing? They don't even know where to begin because they've been so inundated with
So
that old
Robin, I mean, that's
model.
awesome stuff. It gets into another offer we have, which is where we build a system for you. I just want to keep this focused on like what the kinds of things they need to think about. And I'm going to button this up at the end of how you guys can apply this in different niches and markets to generate lots of Kartra affiliate commissions. Robin, can you go back to that page you were just showing them, the JV partner? So this is just another page, for example, that when they're getting the automated emails, whether they did or did not purchase any of our products, they'll be learning about becoming automatically. We don't have to do anything, guys. Think about this. Like automatically, they'll be learning about becoming a Kartra affiliate themselves. And when they click on that link, go ahead and click on that link. And those using our system, by the way, it would have their link in it. It would go to their, signing up there. So this is why, we already have like over 100 or nearly 100, I guess it is, JV partners, and we haven't even turned on the ads. We haven't really turned it on yet. We've just been building it and testing it. It's going to be massive. and so think about that. Like, and you can set one up too. And I'll give examples of different niches in a minute where you're selling other stuff. Like people are coming into your lead capture page to get value, and you can sell them different things. And then like somewhere along the way though, they're learning about becoming a Kartra affiliate. It's free to sign up. And now they sign up as a JV partner with you. And now if you empower them to learn marketing and they start generating sales, might take some of them a couple months to get going. Some of them will have people to refer to right away. Now you're getting commissions there too. And we have lots of JV partners getting referrals now. And we don't even have to do anything. It's like just happening. It's like we don't even take it like as a serious income stream. But over time, it will be pretty big. Like I remember one time, a lot of you might know who iContact is. They used to have an affiliate program. This is years ago. And I had a system like this, much more primitive, back in 2007. And I would refer people to iContact and lots of other things too, just all automated like this. And like, it gets to be so much money. You don't even keep track. Like I was getting checks from them every month for a while. And then they were closing down their affiliate program. This is years later. iContact did. And I'd been getting money from them for years, and I hadn't even been paying attention because I had it coming from so many different places. And then like they contacted me one day saying, oh, we need you to square up like what we owe you. And I like didn't even know they owed me anything anymore. And like they sent me like a $10,000 check that I didn't even know I had owed. It's like it just gets so incredible when you have a system. Like again, you promote one lead capture page, and automatically people at some point in our funnel will learn about becoming a Kartra affiliate. These are the kinds of things you want to think about. Let's talk a little bit more about the BAM. Like let's say somebody doesn't buy, because we wanted this to be about showing you how we're using Kartra, and we'll keep you guys posted as we go on using this thing. But let's say somebody didn't buy within the 4-day countdown, and so they don't have access to the free class anymore. Kind of talk about what page they would see when they came back after that countdown clock hit 0. Talk a little bit about that part of it.
Sorry, I didn't know you were referring to me. I was troubleshooting
I just
something.
want someone randomly listening to explain how our funnel works.
Can you repeat it really fast, like in a snippet?
If the countdown clock hits 0 and someone comes back, let's show people what happens.
So if the countdown clock hits 0, what ends up happening is, well, there's two things. So this is where the personalization comes in. If they had seen the ambassador offer, then they would be given a one-time offer for Profit Platform at a special rate, which is only available for the time that they're on the page, and it actually expires in an hour. So if they leave the page and they come back after an hour, it won't be available. So we're offering a special price for Profit Platform. And then that goes to the normal price after the hour.
Robin, let me pause you. So she can't show you because her countdown clock isn't at 0. So I forgot that you can't show them because I wanted you to actually show them the page, but I'm assuming you can't do that.
I can find the page and log
It
in.
might be easier for them to follow. I just want people to understand the again, every funnel is going to be different. We have a lot of people using our system as it is because it obviously takes time to build something like this. But I want you guys to also know that like you can model this for lots of different niches and markets, and I will end this with summarizing that. This is just an example of how we're using it. So okay, so here's what they would land on if they click on a link later. They didn't have time or whatever. They want to
Could be from an email too. Yeah.
Yeah, they click in an email. They want to come back. It would say you got here too late and it's closed. And a lot of you might be thinking, oh man, you're losing a sale. And we had a lot of people who wanted to buy and they're like, oh man, I wanted to buy. I came back and I couldn't. They were kind of bummed. Guys, that's just part of the process. And it starts to teach those that are following you that when you have a special offer, it's really a special offer. Here it's telling them, hey, they can get Profit Platform. They won't have the same program. They won't have access to the same stuff, but they'll still get access to the system. They just won't get all the same value, and the price point's a little bit lower because they're getting less, but they still get access to the system, which might be what they're interested in. And so there's that. Now, if they leave this page and they come back like an hour later, then they'll never see this offer again. So if they close this page and come back tomorrow, they'll never see this again. Are you able to show them what they would see if that were to happen?
Give me a second.
Actually, I like that exit pop-up was cool. You probably can't make it come up a second time though, can you? Just to show them like all the strategy and thought that goes into each step that your visitor is taking.
There we
go. Okay, so let's say they leave that page because that was selling Profit Platform for like $1,000, and this is showing them the payment plan option. So they go to leave the page, maybe that's outside their price point, and this is telling them, hey, we got a payment plan option, guys. And it's so they're less of a financial commitment up front, guys. I know some of you, and certainly non-marketers, will look at things like that and go, that's so annoying. I hate those exit pop-ups. Again, if you're speaking to your audience and you understand your audience's needs and there's a real purpose behind what you're doing, then it's valuable. Like there will be a group of people who wanted what we were offering, but $1,000 right away was too much. They want to do a payment plan. And so this coming up will be a big benefit for them. And that's who you like focus on. You focus on benefiting those who are going to buy.
And we have had people buy on this page.
We can see that, by the way, with Kartra. We don't focus on, this is so important, guys. You don't focus on what people think who aren't your buyers. You do not care what people think about your marketing strategy who are not your buyers. And if somebody is so sensitive to marketing that
they're not your buyer.
No. It depends what you're selling. If you're selling yoga classes, you need to think about it differently. But if you're selling Kartra and you're wanting to really scale and optimize advertising, like you want to attract people that want to learn these things and want results. The reality is, if you put the focus on providing value and there's a purpose for what you're doing, and it's not just to be annoying and just like try to put another thing in front of them, but there actually has a benefit that makes sense at the time, then that's how you use those kinds of things.
Well, I'll say as a yoga instructor and student, I'm happy to pay for classes when I want to be there. So
yeah, so if you
when the need is there.
If you saw an exit pop up, Robin, because I know you used to be sensitive to some of these marketing tactics. If you saw a yoga class being offered and it was like for $2,000 or an event, and you went to exit and an exit pop-up said, hey, by the way, you can actually still come for like $500. You won't get like all the bells and whistles and you might have to come a day later, but you can still enjoy the event. Like that would be an example of something you would have wanted to see, right?
Yeah, I definitely, it also does something psychologically to your students or to your audience, where your audience, in turn, when you have something like that there, which is, it would have done this for me, I would have thought, oh, wow, she really cares about me having access to this. She's
Right.
really going out of her way to make sure that I can benefit even if I'm not able to pay the full price. So
Now,
I think that it works that way.
some people listening right now would go, oh, well, why wouldn't you just put it in as an option, when you're showing your prices? Well, because now you're going to significantly decrease the amount of revenue you're bringing in. And so you might not even be able to afford such a great event.
And also the brain doesn't work that way. If someone's thinking that way, the brain works in the way of, do I want this? Yes or no? Not like, which one should I get? Usually that makes the purchase go out into the future. Like, oh man, there's too many options here. I really don't know which one. I'm too overwhelmed. Fight or flight happens. Amygdala gets set off. I'm triggered. Now I don't buy anything.
Exactly.
So you don't want to give your audience too many options, which is why whenever you see some kind of a sales page, there's usually 3 options. The middle one is usually highlighted and kind of like 3D pushing out in front of you. That's like in a different color and bigger in the middle of the page, because usually 3 options. The one in the middle that's highlighted is
that's where they
low
direct
option, a
your
middle
focus.
option, a high option. Yeah.
That's where they direct your focus. It's all about directing focus, but to break it up like this even more and only give one option at a time is ideal.
And then, if they happen to miss that page, they leave an hour later, then the price goes to $1,200. So they don't literally, it goes to the price. And this actually is a discount of from what it normally is. If someone does go on the payment plan, it's a little bit more. So this is the annual discount that they will see.
So again, just to make it's really clear, if somebody didn't take us up on that one-time offer, that first time they visit that page, that offer, and then they come back the next day or next week, they won't see that offer anymore. This would be the price. And you want to follow through on those commitments, because you want to teach your audience that when you have special offers, it's real, and it's not just like some BS thing that you used to see a lot of people do. I don't, it's silly then. So, and
also if they don't, so we also have in the behavioral, we have the $47 class. So if somebody, this is that nuance, if somebody doesn't land on this page, they don't see the ambassador offer, they will actually.
Can you slow down on that? Because again, it's really powerful, the thought and strategy that goes into things.
So we actually have 3, 4, 5 automation. It's pretty complicated, actually.
We don't have to go through them all. We don't have to go through them all, or it would overwhelm people. But let's just show that one. When might they come back and be forwarded to purchase the class?
So if somebody comes to the free class page and they don't get 45 minutes to the video, that means they'll never see the offer to work with us in Ambassador. And if they don't ever
let me slow you down. Let me slow you down a little bit. And I want to be just mindful of those that might be at the beginning stages of this stuff. So what she just said was, if they didn't spend enough time on this page to learn much, like they didn't learn the lessons we're teaching about marketing, they didn't get a lot of our free value, they don't really understand much of what we're offering or doing, then they can't purchase. Like the button doesn't even show up to buy. The button doesn't even show up to take them to the page that sells. Like, because this video here is a free class. Like it kind of builds up to them clicking that button, but we don't sell them in this class. So the button to purchase and to learn even about what we're selling doesn't even appear unless they're on this video for 45 minutes. So this section right here with the red button, that doesn't even show up until after 45 minutes. So that's
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And then if you were to click this to go to the sales page, that's when you would see this offer that it's too late if you came back, like in an email or later on, which then goes to the profit platform. So that's one avenue of the automation. But if you never were to click, even if you saw this button, but you never were to click to go to that page, and then you come back and in your email, it's selling you on, hey, go take up the offer on the promo for Ambassador Program while it's still the 4-day window. If you miss the 4-day window and you go back to try to purchase Ambassador Program, you'll land on on the purchase the class page, because typically it means that someone didn't really watch the entire class, which we obviously would want them to do if they're going to come to work with us in Ambassador Program. And so if they never even saw the Ambassador Program video where we're sharing with them all about it in a 1 hour presentation, and we go really deep into it and all of the nuances of how we support people and how people get to leverage our systems, then they would see this page if they never saw the Ambassador Program. And we have had quite a few people purchase the class for $47. And what I've done is I've built in Kartra, in the membership site, the membership area, I've built a membership area in Kartra that houses this class, and I've built in upsells to our offers inside of the membership area in Kartra when someone purchases.
Let me explain all of that another way, just to make sure those who are at beginning or intermediate level can follow all of that. So I'm basically going to repeat what she said, but in a different way, just to make sure this really sinks in. So that $47, go ahead and hold that right there. Go ahead and scroll up, because I just want to see that $47 on the orange button. No, sorry. Scroll down, I just want to see that $47 on the orange button. Take away got questions and the arrow. Are you able to scroll a little bit down? I don't want to see the arrow or got questions, CFAQ. There we go, a little bit more. Okay. So just want to make sure you followed all this. So that $47 represents what we typically sell the free class for. And I don't want to get too much into this part right now, but that's about positioning. Like, if we're going to offer a free class, obviously that means, and it's going to be valuable as a free class, it should be sold somewhere, typically. And so if they don't have the time to watch the class for over a 4-day period, then it's important for them to know that the class will cost $47, and we stick to that. And that's a motivating factor in focusing them. Another thing that we're doing to make sure we focus them and to show them the value of this free class, because it really is worth much more than $47 anyway. Now, if they're watching the free class and they're like, man, I don't have time to watch this right now, I got stuff going on, but I really want to learn this stuff, because they're getting into the class and they want to watch it, then there's a link underneath the free class that they could actually purchase this for $47 and have access to it forever. Or what Robin was getting at, if they didn't click, they never watched enough of the free class to really get enough of that, so they're not really educated or informed and haven't spent enough time with us, then they will never even see that red button we showed you earlier that takes them to purchase Ambassador, which is a $2,000 special offer. It's usually $5,000. They will never even see that. And when what Robin was saying was, if they come back later, then instead of being forwarded to the Profit Platform offer for $9.95, that one-time offer we showed you, if they didn't even engage much with the content, didn't click to learn more about the Ambassador offer, we won't even show them the Profit Platform offer. Kartra will automatically give them the opportunity to see this. They'll see this instead, to purchase the class, because we know they didn't watch enough of the class to even consider a higher price point. And this is what we mean by the power of Kartra and BAM, behavioral adaptive marketing, being able to customize the user's experience so that you're putting the right content in front of the right people, all automatically. So once you have a system like this set up, all you have to do is focus on driving your traffic, your advertising to your lead capture page, and it's like doing all this work for you, which significantly increases your lead value, meaning it significantly, not just double, triple, but massively increases what you earn per lead you generate. So that's what the people that you see that are successful online consistently year after year in whatever product or niche or market it is, that's what they've done. They've set up a system that puts them in a position to be able to make significantly more money per lead that they generate. And then all they have to do once they have that in place is focus on driving traffic. And they're making all this money right away. And then it's compounding as the emails automated go out and all this stuff is going on, and upsells and downsells and things like this. And then they can just kind of look at their data and make little tweaks here and there to continually increase what they earn. So now they can ramp up their advertising spend. And this is the people that are just making those crazy amounts of money. And I've done it many, many times. And we're setting out to do it again right now with this. It works every time. And can't you just see why it would? If you take the time, if you shift your focus onto the system that you're building, as painful as it is, as laborious as it is, if you put your focus there, you will have a finished system that provides value to a market, that automates the customization of the content that your visitors see and puts the right offers in front of the right people. Like, it would be dumb of us to put a $2,000 offer or the Profit Platform $1,000 offer in front of people that didn't even watch 45 minutes of the free class. But it does make sense for that group. Instead, if they missed the 4-day window of the free class and they hardly watched any of it, it makes sense to forward them instead to purchasing the class that they didn't have a chance to see when it was free. That makes more sense. Now, in the automated emails, they'll still learn about Profit Platform. The ambassador offer would be gone. They'd have to purchase that for $5,000 instead of $2,000. But the Profit Platform offer will be in front of them, not at the $995 discount price, but at the $1,200 price. And then they'll have opportunities to learn about purchasing Kartra, becoming a free affiliate with Kartra, and lots of other affiliate offers that increase our lead value. But my point really is, while we can't take the time to go over every automated thing we built into this, you're getting the point. Those that are successful for a reason, and it's probably not the reason most of you think. They're successful because they took the time to put a system in place. It's not talked about that much because the average person out there is too overwhelming to think about. But what I propose to you to consider is that it's actually easier, less work, less effort, because never again will you spend money on advertising and lose money and not know what to do. Never again will you just be randomly promoting stuff online to your list, maybe getting a little money here and there, but not being able to scale up. This is a guaranteed win. And it really is the only way to guarantee a win. Is to set up a system, to take the time to do that. Let's go ahead and I'm going to take over the screen, Robin, and just kind of button this up now, because we're going to continue this story. We're going to continue to show you aspects of the system over time. For those of you that got on this list, we just sent this out to 100 people. But, over time, we're going to continue to show you the results that we're getting with this and let you kind of either apply it to what you already have going on, or you might create a new system, and I'll share some target markets, some specific markets you could consider creating funnels for as you go forward. We're going to start, I mentioned that we completed this funnel build.
I don't see your screen.
Yeah, I'm not quite, let's see here. One second. I mentioned earlier that, can you see it now, Robin?
You're good.
Okay. I mentioned earlier that we just pretty much wrapped up this funnel. We pushed it out to our own email list, which is not what it was designed for, but just as an early test before we advertise, make sure, because it was all just theory before that. Theory based off of us doing this over and over again over the last 15 years. But nonetheless, we wanted to test it before advertising. And, phenomenal results. The Kartra system worked phenomenally well. It's absolutely amazing. $71 lead value, and it's actually been more since then. The last time we looked, it was $71 lead value. I don't expect advertising lead value to be nearly as good, because you're building an early relationship when you're advertising with people who don't know you. But still, even if our leads cost $10 a lead, it's very obvious. There's no question that we'll be able to earn significantly more than we spend with this funnel. It's got so much built into it to optimize that lead value. And there's so much little tweaks we could just continue to make. And we'll be sharing, that's what we're those people that use our system, that's what we're doing. We're showing them how we do that, and they're using the same system to do it. But we will check in with you, with anybody, even people, that are using Kartra, people outside of our system, people who haven't purchased from us, and just check in. Partly that obviously over time attracts people quality people to us, but it's not the main drive to do it, because we're going to be able to do it through advertising. It's a way for us to kind of share with the community and hopefully stir up some kind of collaboration that isn't really time consuming over time. If we keep sharing this and others keep sharing, that I think could just create a really cool environment and culture in Kartra, where people, a growing number of people, start to do what they're doing over at ClickFunnels much better, which is kind of collaborating and sharing. I mean, because ClickFunnels has been around longer, so they've had that established. They also have like that Russell, the Russell phenomenon, right? Like him kind of inspiring and leading people. What we hope to do over time is to get a group of people in Kartra sharing like this, and it started. There's people doing it. I forgot his last name. Jonathan, is it Finley? I don't know. We'll get to know their names. There's Martin. I can't pronounce his last name off the top of my head. I'm going to get to know each of them and start to feature them and talk about them, and maybe they'll do the same with us, and we'll create this great collaboration, and any of you are welcome into it. So this is just the beginning of the story, to create this incredible affiliate army and collaboration within Kartra. But I don't want it to be some time-consuming thing. Whenever we try to organize it, it gets challenging, because it's like Kartra understandably doesn't want us or others to be posting too many outside links to like for me to promote on Kartra's group that we're having a webinar. I don't really like doing that. I'm sure they don't really like us doing that. So, and that makes total sense. So it's kind of tough, like how to organize this, but we'll just keep sharing and we'll keep showing you the results we're getting, and we'll see where this leads in terms of a collaboration within Kartra. And I just don't want it to be a time-consuming thing on our end in terms of having to administer that. I want to manage our ad campaigns and just, get a $70 lead value on a $10 lead spend. So we're making seven times more than we're spending. Spend $1, get $7 back. Spend $1,000, get $7,000 back. Spend $10,000, get $70,000 back, and so on. And that's how Sam Ovens got to 50 million so fast. Like, the market's still wide open for anyone who's willing to build systems like this. And again, if there's anything we can share along the way that's helpful to you in applying this to what you're doing, or to create maybe a different approach to what you're doing so you can join in the insane success so many are having, then I'm happy. So just to kind of button this up, significant cash flow in affiliate marketing requires strategy. You can use SEO and blogging, and we do teach that, the basics of it. So it's not like I don't value it. It's how I built my early incomes. But it requires a lot of content creation, and you don't have immediate control. When you build a marketing funnel, like we talked about today, that utilizes cash flow optimization, those are things, we talk about that a lot in the free class, if you find that, but where you're specifically increasing what you earn per lead with very specific steps that are easy to take, so that's your job every day. That's what you get up and do. Like, you don't just work on your branding or work on a new lead capture page you think might be good. Like, exactly what to do to increase what you earn per lead. That's cash flow optimization. There's 5 different ways to do that, and none of them are that challenging. Like, that's what you have to focus on if you want to guarantee your success. That's how you take control over what you earn. Then you can incrementally increase what you earn by tracking and increasing lead value. Let's just button this up with target markets you could choose to go after if you wanted to model what we're doing. Like, if you wanted to go after a market you'd want that's highly likely to purchase Kartra, what are some markets that would fit the bill? Well, obviously people using ClickFunnels is one market, but if you're going to put together a funnel that that's targeting people in ClickFunnels specifically to lead them into purchasing Kartra and becoming JV partners with Kartra, then you have to be pretty good at what you're doing, because ClickFunnels has a lot of great training over there from Russell. So that's the only caveat with ClickFunnels, going after them. You're going to have to be pretty darn good at what you're doing, or at some specific thing that you're doing, and you want to focus it and provide some kind of value right up front to ClickFunnels people with your lead capture page. They get on your list, and then ideally you would create a product that you would introduce to them right away, and the countdown clock would definitely work for that crowd. you'd want to create a product right away that naturally, that's high ticket, so that you can afford to advertise, and provide a lot of value in there. And then whatever you're creating, getting Kartra would be like just a natural thing that they would need. And again, if you're using Kartra and you're teaching things, it's like a natural thing that the product you create would require Kartra, because that's what you're doing. So you're basically teaching them to do what you're doing. So it makes sense that Kartra would be part of it. You're not just trying to sell Kartra, like it's a part of the solution that you're offering. And so you can kind of model a lot of what we've done in our funnel if you're in a place and you have enough knowledge to go after the ClickFunnels market. And that's actually a market we would love to go after, but we're so excited about the funnel we have right now, we don't want to take more time to develop. But that would be very easy to like go after them and do really, really well. It's just we're going after a larger market than just ClickFunnels. We're going after everybody who's like struggled. You saw our lead capture page, like everyone who's struggled in opportunities or coaching or trying to become a best-selling author, or they bought Brendan Burchard's classes years ago, but they're still not making any money, or they bought Marie Forleo's courses, Sam Oven's courses, they still don't have it figured out. Like that's our market. It's a huge market, way bigger than ClickFunnels, but ClickFunnels is still very large. So you could model what we're doing for ClickFunnels and do very well if you could put together a product that would be valuable to them. Bloggers. There were a lot of people who are trying to blog, they're trying to create content. Obviously, that's a group of, if they're using WordPress, for example, if people are still using lead pages and are optimized press and this kind of stuff, like if you know what I'm referring to, then that might be a market that you would want to create a funnel for, and you could model a lot of what we're doing in much the same way, because obviously they would benefit by Kartra. It is extremely time consuming, costly, and ridiculously challenging to model everything that you can do in the Kartra all-in-one solution, like if you're just using WordPress and plugins and third-party tools. So, Entreport, business. Now move over to business owners that might be familiar with Entreport or familiar with Infusionsoft. Like if you're familiar with those kinds of things, that would be another audience. Now, if you are just starting out, and you don't feel like your skill level and experience is comprehensive enough, to create a product that would attract ClickFunnels people or the blogger types or people using optimized press and Infusionsoft, business owner types that are at the higher level, they know what Infusionsoft is, they know what Entreport is, and you want to offer a better solution. If that's all too comprehensive for where you're at with your skill level, then you reaching out to business owners who need to make additional cash flow, who would benefit by having like Kartra's starter system, who you can serve in some way by showing them what you know, would be the place to start. To build a lead capture page that would provide value, some kind of free offer that would provide value to business owners across lots of different niches. If they're, and you'd be telling them, hey, if you've tried using WordPress or plugins, and again, the more knowledgeable you are, the better, because you can reach out to a larger group. Like if you're familiar with what Entreport is or some of these other tools, you could speak to that. But if not, you could just say, hey, look, if you're a business owner and you've been trying to figure out how you can make sales online or how you can package what you know online, here's a free class that I've put together. Like you could start there, and through the free value you offer, which is basically just consolidating what you know down and sharing with them some things that that would be helpful to someone new trying to learn marketing for their business. That would be somebody that you could then say, oh, by the way, in your free class, you could say, if you want to get Kartra, get it from the button below. So there's a very simple way of starting out and starting to apply some of this if you already have Kartra, using the Kartra account that you have. The point is, though, if you're going to set up a funnel that's going to generate affiliate commissions and attract JV partners, obviously it needs to be entrepreneurial oriented. Obviously it needs to be speaking to people that would have a need for Kartra. And so, that's a given, I suppose. But if you have right now a completely different type of business, like a yoga business, or you sell CBD oil or nutritional products, or you're an engineering consultant, and you're trying to figure out, how can I start to get into the game of like, I love Kartra, how can I start generating affiliate commissions with it? You would need to think about creating a little funnel with your Kartra that speaks to a different audience, And if you don't feel really high in skill level, just speak to people that are at a really low skill level, because they need Kartra too. People that are business owners, people that would have a need for it. And if your skill level is a little higher, then you can start looking at, putting together products and services that people in ClickFunnels may want. But the end point here is you want to create a system. You want to create a structure. And we showed you how we're using Kartra to do that. You want to think about moving them through a stair-step process. Not only so you can track where they're at in the process, and you can build on that over time. You can start with something a lot simpler than what we have and then build on it over time. But whatever you do, make sure that there's a clear process that they're moving through. And then you definitely want to you learn about the steps that you can take if you don't already know what they are. We call it cash flow optimization. The steps that you take to increase what you earn per lead. You definitely need to start thinking about, your priority in your business needs to become, how do I set this up and what do I do to track my lead value? That's what you're earning per lead generated. And to, with complete control, make sure that every step that I take in my business is increasing that lead value. Because the more money you make, the more value you can provide. And if that's not a priority, if that's not the main priority, then you're not going to hit that target. You're not going to be increasing lead value. And if you're not increasing lead value, then what are you doing? So you really need to approach it all that way. So hopefully this was helpful. We will continue to show you what we're doing, how we're using Kartra to put its best features into play, the behavioral adaptive marketing. Obviously, however you go about it, you might use those features differently. Maybe a countdown clock isn't the best way to do stuff for what you're doing, but something to consider. If you're going after ClickFunnels, it would work. And some of these more specialized marketing type groups, it would work. But depending on what you're doing, you might apply what we're doing a little bit differently, but you still need to put into play the basic concepts. And we'll keep you posted. We're going to start advertising our system next. We'll let you know the results and how that's all going. Over time, my goal and my hope is that we'll start to create a really powerful alliance within Kartra, where more people are sharing these kinds of things, and maybe we can get more organized somehow. I don't yet know how to do that with the Kartra groups. And I'm not really interested in supporting a group just yet because we've got, we're focusing on scale right now. But we will keep checking in with you and sharing with you, how we're using Kartra to generate affiliate commissions, Kartra affiliate partners, and we showed you the system and the funnel that we have in place to do just that. All right, guys. Good luck to each and every one of you with big dreams and big goals. The way that you make it happen and remove the gamble and mystery from it is setting up systems and making the priority, increasing lead value. Thanks, Robin, for walking us through the funnel and for all your incredible work on that. Robin's an absolute genius at setting these systems up, and I don't think she's available right now, but you definitely want to look for opportunities to get her service and her help if you have a sophisticated funnel you want to put together, because she went to the limits of what even Kartra's support could help her with, moved beyond it, and actually works directly now with one of the gentlemen that built Kartra. He doesn't work for Kartra now, but he built it. So that's who we often go to now, and Robin works with regularly to overcome challenges that we meet with Kartra. She pushed the limits of what you can do with it. So if you want to build a really sophisticated system, she's not available right now because we're focused on scaling this. But if you ever see that opportunity, man, she's a whiz at it. So thanks again, Robin, and thanks everybody. We will see you guys soon. We'll keep you posted.